Now, today we're going to figure out how to graph a system of linear inequalities. First, we're going to review how to graph inequalities to begin, like in general, because we haven't done that since the beginning of January, and you guys have spent time away from me, and I can't get you to remember what we did yesterday, much less something from then. It's not a good thing. Okay. This will also help you on your stained glass project. This is not my happy face.
Seemed like you're
Alright, so the first thing we have to do is we have to graph our line. Now, when we're graphing any line, regardless of if it's an inequality or equation, what do we want it to be in first? What form? Good. Both of you take a point. So put in slope-intercept form.
Couldn't do it in color.
Then we have to determine if we're going to use a solid or dotted line. When do we use a solid line? Who remembers? Connor?
We use a solid line when it's not equal to or greater than.
Ashlyn?
It is equal to.
Yes. When it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. Take a point, Ashlyn. When do we, no, but I'm not. When do we use a dotted line, Avery?
Whenever the sign is there.
No, when it's greater than or less than.
Good. Take a point. When it's greater than or less than. So solid line when there's a line under it, because this is a solid line. And then a dashed line when there's no line under it, because there's no solid line. And then we have to shade either above or below. Now, when do we shade above the line?
When it's greater or less.
Connor?
When? I'm pretty sure. Like when if it's going this way for like if it's like on a number line and it's like going from like
Dom.
three
You
on.
shade above when it's greater than or greater than or equal.
Good. Take a point. When do you shade below? Owen.
When it's less than or less than.
Good. Take a point.
Oh.
Are we ready?
No, not yet.
Yes, ma'am.
We're just drawing arrows, boo. Alright. So now, a linear inequality is similar to a linear equation, and this is the one that we're going to graph. The first thing we need to do is we need to put it into slope-intercept form. So let's solve this for y. That means that we're trying to get y by itself. So who can raise their hand? You guys stop. Who can raise their hand and tell me the first step?
Oh, we have to get what? Oh.
Tyler.
Subtract x.
Good. Take a point. We're going to subtract x from both sides. Now remember, we have to get y by itself before we do anything with that 2. Do we bring down the negative sign with the 2y?
Yes.
So we have negative 2y is less than negative x plus 6. Am I done?
No.
Who can raise their hand and tell me what I do next? Alan.
You divide negative 2 by everything.
By everything. Good. Take a point. Now, what happens when I divide by a negative on inequalities?
Flip the sign.
Flip the sign. Good. Take a point.
I didn't get some of these markers.
They're at the store. Yes.
Is that not, is that because, it's negative x, and negative 2 make it a positive?
What?
That's why you switch it? Or like
No, I flipped the sign because I divided by a negative 2.
Oh, by a negative.
Correct.
Okay, that's the only time we flip?
Yes. Alright, now, what is negative 1 divided by negative 2? 1/2 x. What is 6 divided by negative 2? Negative 3. And now we need to graph it. Now, where do I start?
Negative 3.
Okay. On the x or the y-axis?
Y.
On the y-axis because it's the y-intercept. So I'm going to go down 3. Raise your hand if you can tell me what to do next.
Yeah, okay.
All right, Logan.
Alright, you go up 1/2. You go up 1 and right 2.
Good. Take a point. Do I do it again?
Yes. You do it until you get to where you can't do it.
And then I need to go down and to the left, so I extend my line, correct?
Correct.
Fantastic. Don't connect your dots yet. What is the next step on our little flappy? Solid or dotted, correct?
Correct.
So, who can raise their hand and tell me if it's, Steven.
Oh yeah. It is dotted.
It is dotted. Why?
Because it does not have, it's not greater than or equal to.
Fantastic. Take a point, sir.
Good job.
And what is our last step? Shade above or below. Now, do we shade above or below? Above. Always look at the final inequality symbol. So once you put it in slope-intercept form, look at that symbol. It's greater than, so you shade above. Hey, please don't shade crazy with those markers. Okay. Now, how many solutions do we have to this linear inequality? As many as are above. Good, take a point. So all of this shade region, all of these points here, those are solutions. Now, let's apply this. We're not going to test the solution. If you plug in 0, 0, you're going to get zeros less than 6. It's a true statement. Man, we did it. Look at us go. Okay, now, tell me what a solution is to a system of equations. Not inequalities, but a system of equations. What is the solution? We've written this down. We've done this. We've talked about it for 2 weeks. So tell me what a solution to a system of equations is. Why are you looking at me?
I don't know what that means. Oh.
So, what is the solution to a system of equations? The point where they cross. Take a point. The point where two lines intersect. It is the coordinate where the two lines intersect. Now, with inequalities, we don't have just one answer. We're going to have a whole bunch, and we're going to have to figure out where the solutions are. Are we ready?
Correct.
Now, this says solve each one for y.
Okay, so you would get rid of the x.
You subtract 2x from both sides.
You subtract 2x, and for the first one, you have y is less than negative 2x plus 4. I'm going to graph that one in purple. This is where your two colors are going to come in.
Alright, so you start at 4.
Wait, I want to solve this other one, because it says solve each inequality for y, so I want to solve this. We have x minus 3y is less than or equal to 9. How do I solve that? Subtract x, and you have negative 3y is less than or equal to negative x plus 9. And then, yes.
Why don't we add 3y? That's a negative 3y.
Right, but we're trying to get y by itself, so we don't want to move that. That's our goal.
Okay, you brought it down.
Okay, now what do I do?
By
By negative 3. Do I flip my sign?
Yes.
Yes. What is negative 1 divided by negative 3? 1/3. X. Good, Aldo. And what is 9 divided by negative 3? Good. Now let's graph my purple line first. Whatever your color is, whatever makes your soul happy, we're going to graph this one first.
Alright, start at 4. You go down 2 and go right 1.
So this is going to be my purple line. This one's going to be my yellow line. So I'm going to go up 4 and put a dot. And then what am I going to do?
You're going to go down 2 and right 1.
Good. Do I do it again?
Yup.
And again?
Yup.
And again?
Yup.
Okay.
It is a...
Nope. This is a dotted line. Why is this one
It
dotted?
doesn't have the solid line under
Because
it.
it doesn't remix. Am I going to shade above or below?
Below.
Below, because it's less than. Now, please, please, please make sure that you shade lightly, and you need two different colors because we're shading two different lines. So you see I'm just putting lines right here?
Yes, ma'am.
So do that. Are we ready? Where do we start for the yellow line?
-3.
And then,
Go up one, right 3.
now these two do intersect, but we don't care about that on inequalities. If these were equations, what would be the solution?
Negative 3, negative.
Good. Now, take a point, Dom. Is this going to be a solid or a dashed line?
Solid.
Why?
Because it's equal to or greater.
Wait, so good. I'm gonna shade above it
Why?
because
Because it's greater than. Good. Now shade everywhere above it. Now, we need to find our solutions. Where do you think the solutions to this system of inequalities lie?
Above
Shade.
3, shaded.
Where both colors are shaded, right? Where the two colors overlap, both of y'all take a point. So this area has both colors, so this is our solutions. These are our solutions. Yep. And you could pick any point in this double colored area and plug into both of those and it would satisfy it. It's a magic. Why could you not pick a point from this yellow area? Steven?
Because both colors are not in it.
Good. Why could you not pick from down here? Because both colors aren't in it. Okay, can you please graph the one that's an example of no solution and tell me what you find? You can graph this one in pink and this one in green.
red and purple. Boom.
Trying to have to go so bad.
Just do your hand.
Okay, this is what mine looks like. I'm so glad that I hit pause after you said that.
Oh, I need those back.
Does yours look like mine? Why is this one no solution?
They don't
The slope are the same.
There's no area where I got it.
There's no areas where there's both colors. The colors don't cross. Good. Can you work on some for homework?
Yes.
Can I give you 3 homework problems and then us go over our word problems to make sure we're all on the same page?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Are we just doing it on the back of this paper?
At the end of class?
Are we doing it on the back of this paper? Can we just do it like on the side?
I don't care. Do it on the back. What?
So the answer is that, and then like a number that's in between. That's the answer.
No, where they're colored, where they're both shaded.
So we need to get like one dot.
No, this is not just one answer. It's all of those in there.
Oh, so we don't like. Okay.
Oh, I like this one.
All right, 48B.
Wake up on my couch, wake up.
Now, why do you... Ooh, Blair.
Come on, Blair. He's really throwing her on later.
Alright, so why can we not solve a system of inequalities by any other method than graphing? Because they're inequalities. And the signs, or the way the inequality goes, changes your answer, correct? So if you try to do it by substitution and one is greater than and one is less than, that's a whole different range of numbers, correct? Okay. I need you to stop talking about me like I can't hear you. Just to let you know, I can still hear you. Bunch of heifers.
Where did heifer come from? Like hamburger?
Okay, you
That's helper.
Oh.
are you?
Let it go. Be Elsa. Alright. What are
We
I?
have been around.
Alright, the first problem that you're going to graph. Y is greater than -2, and y is less than or equal to x plus 9. I hope you remember how to graph horizontal and vertical lines.
The graph?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Did you just ask if we still have to graph? That's the whole point of the lesson.
Oh, so we gotta make our own graphs?
Yeah.
Steven, just stop.
You have graphing notebook.
Oh, I do.
Why? Whose fault is that?
Oh my. Stop. Stop.
You're gonna have to get it back if you don't.
5x minus y is less than -6, and 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 4. And the last one, ooh,
Is that a 5 or a 3?
x is greater than or equal to 3, and y is less than or equal to x minus 2. Now, how do you know when it's going to be a vertical line versus a horizontal line?
The horizontal line is y.
Ooh, I know.
Yep, and the vertical line would be,
X equals.
is that better? Can you see now? Okay. Good, take a point. Alright, now, once you're done writing, let's look at our word problems. So I need everybody to hurry up and write these down.
Where are the word problems?
You ready? Alright, so go to your packet that you got. And when is this packet due? Friday. I feel like we need to look at the geometry problem. I'm trying to make y'all passes and laminate them so that you can have them for every day when you need them.
Did he pass?
His feelings always gets on me.
I never get that.
So,
I don't even know how to do
how are you doing?
Alright, draw a rectangle because it tells you that the length of the rectangle is 5 more than the width. So draw the rectangle. Now, if this is the width, what do you know about opposite sides of a rectangle? So if this is W, what's this one? Okay. And then it tells you that the length is 5 more than the width. So that means L equals W plus 5. And if this side is W plus 5, what's this bottom side? Now, what does perimeter mean? Add all the sides. So we're going to add our two W's together, and what do we get? Okay. And then we're going to add our W plus 5 and W plus 5, and what do you get? Plus 10. And we're going to set that equal to 120.
Wait, what?
Now, please, 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 please. It tells you to find your length, width, and area. So after you find your length and your width, how do you find the area? You multiply. Mark, take a point, baby.
I said it too.
I said it too.
You're at the same team.
I said stop.
You probably didn't hear that.
All right. How do we feel? Can you do the others now?
Yes, ma'am.
Doesn't help if you draw a picture.
Yes.
It's crazy. Now, when is this packet due? Friday. Yes. What, honey? Yes, go put it in the tray.
Done?